Good morning, traders. How is everyone doing today? Hit that like button if you're ready for the weekend. Hit that like button if you're not ready for the weekend. Okay, so it's Friday, and I'm going to show you something here. Hold on. I'm going to show you guys something kind of cool, and I'm excited. I am excited about some stuff that's coming up. So first of all, I'm excited about today's session. So get ready. I'm going to teach some cool stuff. We're going to do a 10 trade series, an educational series for 10 trades, and they're all going to be done live. I'm going to do as many of them as I can to get it cranked out of the way quickly, but I'm not going to force anything. And I'm going to be teaching that. So if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, go ahead and hit that like button today. Really excited about this new series that I'm going to be starting. And another thing I wanted to mention is I'm doing a roadmap a 30-day roadmap on how to be a successful trader in 30 days. And that's going to be a live event that I'm going to be teaching. So that event is going to be really, really good. And I'm going to show you step by step on how to go through that roadmap, how to do it step by step by step. So I want to show you guys what it will look like here. Let's see, pull my screen up. This is an event. It's a live event that I'm going to be teaching, and it's a step-by-step roadmap that I'm going to be sharing. And I think it's really important that we get that guideline. So mark your calendars for that. We haven't even announced the sign-up page yet, but I want to give you guys the early heads up. Why? Here it is, 30 days, the roadmap, becoming a master trader in 30 days. We're going to be talking about that live at April 7th. Be on the alert for the event link, because there's only going to be 500 people allowed in the event. And I happen to know that the last time I did something like this, it filled up and people were left waiting. And so I don't want to have that happen again, but you got to get set up early. Okay, so that's that. Good stuff. Now, okay. Also, let's get started with our training for today. So this is the $1 Million Experiment, and it's the $1 Million Experiment, and it's a great fun time we've been having with people. But today we're going to do something different. Risk warning. This is for educational purposes only. Educational purposes only. I have a different experience than you guys. Everybody's different. This is very risky. Trading is very risky. So always remember to manage your risk. And these are not trade calls, but this is for this is very risky. This is for educational purposes only. All right. Now, please make sure you guys hit that like button so that you can get notified. Also subscribe and hit that the bell as well, so you get notified when we go live, because I want you to get all 10 trades. So today, and you notice something, they changed, Google Slides just changed their little icons here. That's literally the first time I've ever seen this. So they had an update, which most of you probably don't care, but but hey, it's been the way it's been for years and years and years, and it just really jumped out at me. All right, so we're going to do a 10 trade challenge, and 10 trades. Let's do it. We're going to be looking at different time frames. The strategy is going to be pretty much the same, but I'm going to break it down, and I'm not going to use the MACD. I'm just going straight technical analysis for this one, because really I want to focus on the money management. And old school, if you're still here, old school, if you're still here, guess what? We're going to talk about money management today and the indicator that you were so interested in. So hopefully old school's still here. Okay, so let's do it. All right, so for this particular challenge, we're going to do a 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio. So that means we're going to risk 1%, and we're going to have a target of 2%. And I'm going to use the 50, the 100, and the 200. And anyone that's been on this channel knows exactly how that works at all. Val, we'll get to that too. Thanks a lot. I actually have I can send you a little video I have about opening demo accounts, which I'll put that in the link in the description, so be looking for it. Okay, so we're going to do 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio, and we're going to do something called risk stacking. Risk stacking. It sounds really crazy. And so basically what it's going to do is when we win, we're going to increase our trade size, okay? And I'll show you how it works here in a second, because I have a spreadsheet on it. I'm going to be using risk levels, and I'm going to be small but consistent. I'm going to be going for about 6% per day. So I think that's the last, yeah, that's the last slide. So let me escape out of here, and we're going to go to the spreadsheet. I want to show you how this money management system works, okay? It's pretty easy. Let me, let's see, I'm going to actually go with a new document, and I'm going to do some typing on the document first. And let's make this really big so you guys can see it. 50. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, it's really simple. Every time we win, our risk, and we can change this based off of our risk, but I'm risking 2% I'm risking 1%, but my target's going to be 2%, right? So what that means is that if I win 50% at a 2-to-1, I'm going to do really, really well, right? Because if you win $2 and you lose $1 after 20 trades, and you're at 50%, well, that's pretty good. Now, getting a 50% win rate with a 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio can be challenging, but if you time it right, you can do it. And we're going to keep analyzing our trades, and we're going to reevaluate them, just like I did last Friday after I evaluated some of those losses that I took on the pound yen. Right, so let's just do this. So on the first trade, I'm going to go 1%. So we're going to go 1%, and I lost that, right? Oh no, lose win percent. So the next trade, I'm going to risk how much? I'm going to risk, again, another 1%. But let's say on the next trade, I win, but I'm using 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio. So it's good to have all of you. Good to have you, Baisa. Make sure you hit that like button. So we got 2% is the winner. So now we won 2%. So I've won one trade, and I've lost one, and that is I'm still up at 1% at a 50% win rate. So 50% win rate, Maruz, thank you. 50% win rate is profitable. It's a 1% profit. And as we continue on, if we keep doing that over and over and over and over again, so the next time we do it, let's say we do it again, minus 1%. Okay. There we go. Now where are we at? Okay, we're right back to break even because why? We've lost one, two, and then we lost another one. But now I'm going to win again. And this time it's at 2%. Well, now we lost one, two, lost one, two. So now my total net on the account is 2% growth. Right? Does that make sense? I'm just trying to break this down real slow for everybody. 2% growth. And what's our win rate? 50%. That link there, Val, is available if you're interested. Okay. So you see that? Let's do one more. 1% loss and a 2% winner. So let's go from the beginning. We go minus 1%, plus 1, break even, plus 2. You take away another one. Now we're plus 1, and then we add this. Guess what? Now we're plus 3. So we're 50%. We're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 trades, 3 wins, 3 losses, and we're at a 3% win rate. Okay, so you see how if you can just maintain a 50% win rate on a 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio, how that's a pretty good strategy. Does everyone agree with that? Let me know if that makes sense to you in the chat or by hitting that like button. Go ahead and do that right now. I need to know that everyone is understanding this training today because I want to make sure that no one's left behind. So go ahead, type it in the chat or hit that like button. I want to see those likes exploding right now that you guys get this. So really, that's the whole reason why, and they call it risk to reward. That's the whole reason why we try to win more than we lose, because all you have to do is be right half the time. Now, the challenge with it is you have to time it right because you got to go further. So let's just say that we're going to do a 10 pip stop loss and a 20 pip target. So it's actually mathematically easier to lose because it's closer to your stop loss, right? It's closer. So it's easier to lose. So you have to have an edge on your strategy, because normally if you just go in and you trade and you do like a 20 and a 20, you're probably going to hit around 50, right? You're going to hit around 50% just statistically, even without a strategy, right? If you're doing a 20 and a 20, you're going to hit about 50%. But the problem is you do have a commission and a spread, right? So if you win 50%, you got that commission and the spread, which takes a little bit away. That's what the cost of doing business. You're going to lose money if you just do it randomly, right? So we have to get ourselves a statistical edge to be profitable, right? Okay, so again, let me know if that makes sense. Hit that like button. I see there's some likes here, so I see you guys are tracking. I just want to see some more comments so I know you guys are involved. I don't want to be blowing hot air. I don't want to be one of those talking head guys that just talks for the sake of talking. I want to make sure that I'm making an impact. All right, now here's a spreadsheet that we're going to go over, but I want to tell you a little adjustment on the money management, okay? And I know that some of you here are really engaged with this training, and they pay a lot of attention, and this is going to be really valuable, and that's why I'm trying to get some participation here. So here's what we're going to do, okay? So with this money management, it's a little twist. Call this money management with a twist. I call it a twist. We call it risk stacking. Okay, so when not when we win, we increase our risk on the next trade. Okay, so what does that mean? What does that mean? So what is our target? Our target's 2%. So let's say trade 1, we win. So our goal would be 2%, right? So now what does that mean? We're going to increase our risk on trade 2, right? Trade number 2, we're going to risk our original risk, which was how much? Let me know. Let me know if you're following along. I'm not going to tell you. We're going to risk the original trade risk on trade 2. What was the same risk? And it's a percent number to give you a hint. Who's paying attention? Come on, guys. Thanks, Carolyn. Thanks, Robin. I got to make sure I'm not gonna cave on this one. I'm gonna be the hard teacher. Okay, Robin saved the day for everybody. It's 1%. So we're gonna take that original 1%, right? Because that's what we risk. We risk 1%. Okay. Now we're gonna stack though. We already won 2% on trade 1 because we're doing a 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio. Okay. Now, here's the catch. We're going to risk stack it. So we're going to take this 2% that we won and our original 1% risk. Okay. And so that means on trade number 2, we're going to risk 3%. And so what that means is we still only have the same risk as we had on trade 1. Okay. It's really 1%. Trade 1 was run 1%. Trade 2 is 1%, but we're risking 3 because we're rolling in the profit on trade number 2. Okay. So on trade number 2, we're rolling in this 2% plus our original 1%. 1 plus 2, I don't need to tell you guys, equals 3. So on trade 2, we win 3%. Now, if we win trade 2, that assumes you win 2 trades in a row. If you win trade 2, you will win a total of 6% on that trade, right? And so now, instead of winning 2 trades in a row, instead of being at 4%, we're now at 6% plus 2. Okay, we're at 6 plus 2. Now, that's called risk stacking. So our total Our total win rate is 2% plus 6. Our total now after 2 trades is 8%. Okay, 8%. Now, if we would have just done the normal risk management and we win 2 trades, we'd be at 4%. So what are we doing with this risk stacking strategy? We're doubling our performance with the exact same trades. Now, if winning 2 trades in a row doesn't happen as often, right? So you might have ended up winning 1 and losing 1, and then what happens? Okay, so let's back it up. I want to make sure everybody understands this. Okay, we're going to back it up. So on trade 1, we win 2%. Okay, we're risking 1% and we win 2%. However, on trade 2, we're going to risk, everybody that's with me, paying attention, how much? Dun, dun, dun. We're going to risk 3% because we're adding 1 plus 2. But let's just say we lose it. Well, if we lose it, we're going to end up at a minus 3% on that trade. And our total account drop is 2 minus 3. Our total account drop is we're down 1%. Now, that is a huge swing from the possibility of being up 8% to losing 1. That's a massive swing, right? So doing this is not like perfection. Life is not going to be all happy and wonderful. But when you do hit 2 trades in a row, it's very powerful. And then after you win your 2 in a row, then you just go back to your regular risk. So I put everything together in a spreadsheet to show you how this looks, okay? And it's a little tiny, so I want to make it bigger for everybody here. Let's see if I can do that. So I played around with this. The size 14. Okay, so I played around with it, and actually, this might be the wrong sheet. I was doing a 3-to-1 instead of a 1-to-2. So I'd have to actually change these numbers. But in this case, let's just do a 3-to-1 because I don't want to change all the numbers in front of you. You guys would be like, is this dude really changing all the numbers in front of us? Like, what a loser. Okay, so in this one, it's a 3-to-1. So initial trade is 3%. Next trade is 12, right? But you're still risking 1, but you're trying to get a 3-to-1. Now, your winning percentage is going to be lower, right? But just look at the difference with this strategy. You get a 12% winner, and you can just change it from 3 to 2 to 4, whatever, and just look at the difference. The exact same winning percentage is a 15,000 profit versus 11. So this is something I would recommend that you guys play with. And, you know, since Robin wanted it, I'm going to give this out to Robin. Thanks, man. Copy link somehow. Share. Okay, there we go. All right, now there's the link for that if you're interested. Okay, so that's what I'm going to be doing for the 10 trade challenge. We're going to be testing this out. So we're going to jump right into it. Now, one other thing I wanted to mention is my good friend Old School. Old School wanted to know about our trade management tool. So the cool thing about our trade management tool is it lets us do stuff like this. It's really easy to manage your risk with this tool. It's called Epic. And so it's actually this tool. I'm going to send the link in it if you want to grab it. It's available for $97. And we're actually going to be building. We got a major update coming on this. We've been updating this for years. I've been using this for years and years and years and years. And we're updating it. And so eventually the price is probably going to go up. Because we're going to add some of these advanced money management strategies like the one you just saw in the into the Epic Trade Manager. So I just posted the link, and it's also in the description. And this is the tool. You can read all the bonuses and all that stuff. But it's you got to I don't recommend you scroll down. I want you to read the entire thing, and then you can order it by clicking that button. So, all right. So that's it about Epic. I could give you guys some demo, but I don't have time, and you can actually watch this video to watch how it works. It's pretty cool, and I know some of the people in this here today have been using it. All right, so let's go ahead now and start. And the first thing we want to do is always check our news, right? We want to check our news. And we know that the news, right now there's nothing. It's a Friday. And I wanted to start with Euro New Zealand. New Zealand has had quite a bit of action for those of you New Zealanders in the audience. They dropped a lot this week, as you can see. And I think that could continue. So right now, if we look at the weekly, we have it bounced off of this resistance area, okay? It bounced off of that area. So we're testing this 169.43. It's a really important area. You can see there's also a trend line that it's converging on. So it's a double area, right? But if we go down to a daily time frame, you'll notice something really interesting about this. And that is that we popped up above the 50-period moving average in quite some time. And we also have this trend line, right? So it actually broke this trend line, and it broke it really strong. And New Zealand dollar had some crazy news this week. So I think that there's a possibility that we're going to break these two levels. So what I'm going to be watching, if we look at the hourly, you know, the hourly is telling us a story here that it's in an uptrend, and we do have resistance here, but you can see it's pulled back. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait patiently. So we're going to do this 10 trade thing, and I'm going to try to make these trades live, but at the same time, I'm not going to force it because I only, you know, I'm risking 2 to 1 or 3 to 1 or whatever, but I'm not going to force it. So I'm going to wait for some bullish price action here. We could break right here and head up, or we could come down to these moving averages. And so I will be watching this very closely. And, you know, I'm not using the MACD just because I want to do this price action without it. We do have the MACD as well. And so I have that chart open. So if you're interested, you can use that. You can see on the MACD, it's actually, yeah, the MACD is going lower. And so once we start getting these lines to cross, a black dot and across here, I think we got a really solid trade on, right? And so we're going to be using our money management strategy. So this is one of the trades that I'm really looking at. Okay, so we're going to do that, all right? And I'm going to do analysis on all the pairs this morning. Every pair that I have here, I'm going to do. And so it's going to take some time to go through these. So that's what I'm looking at. And if you guys agree with that trading plan, hit the like button. If you don't like that trading plan, hit the like button, but tell me why it's wrong, because I love differing opinions. And just don't tell me, though, that it's going to get wrecked. Don't just say, oh, man, the Euro New Zealand is going to get wrecked. And it is a downtrend, and it could get wrecked. I mean, look, we just bounced off this level. It could get wrecked. It really could. It could, boom. But tell me what you're thinking. So let's take a look at it again. I did want to note, I have a support level right here. Let's look at this. I forgot to mention. See this support level? This is pretty powerful, right? This is very powerful, as a matter of fact. And why do I say that? Look, here and here on a daily time frame, right there, it's a very, very, very strong level, okay? And it's this second blue line. So let's look at it now on a 4-hour. You can see we're right there right now. We're right at that level. So levels are usually not specific price points, but they're zones. And so that's why I don't usually trade them right on the level. But we can now just be patient. And just like I showed you earlier with that pound yen trade that I messed up on, I got the level right, but my entries and timings was off a little bit. So with that being said, guys, time it right. You know, if we want to try to get this, we could, there's a couple different ways. you know, I could wait patiently on the hourly, wait for that hourly break. On a 15-minute, we could wait for, you know, some kind of pullback. It's actually looking pretty good. If it pops down here and we get a pattern, we could catch it down here and catch a bounce to the upside. And remember, if we're doing, you know, 10 pip stop loss with a 20 pip target, that's actually what I calculated with my Epic tool, because it lets me do levels. And so I just put it right in here, and I put my stop right there and my target right here, and away we go. And so that's a nice thing about the Epic tools. It lets you see in advance where your levels are. And so, you know, you want to try to time it so it's right, your level's below a nice support level. And it's not locked in. I don't have to have a 10 pip stop. I can change it if I want. And I just go into the settings and I change the stop loss. But right now I have it as a 10 pip stop. And again, if we go look at this on the MACD, you can see what's happening. We actually did get a black dot forming. And if we look at the 15-minute, we got a couple different black dots, and it looks to me like it's really ready. So probably a great way to trade this would be to wait for this to break out. And we might need a little bit tighter, a little bit bigger stop, maybe a 20 pip instead of a 10. But here's the thing. Let's look at our risk to reward ratio. If we break and here's a little trick on how to do targets. If you draw swing high to swing low, which is this, okay, or actually wrong. I drew the wrong way. See, you draw from swing high on the retrace, and it goes right here. Look, we have a target of a possible target of a 161.8. So where's this at? 161.8. That's 200 pips, right? Now, that would be insane to get that. But if we put our stop loss, this is an hourly time frame. We put our stop loss right here, okay? And remember, we're only going for a 1 to 2. So if we put our stop loss right here, that would be a 30 pip stop. That means to get a 2 to 1, we need to go at least 60. Okay, so I think 60 is doable, right? I think 60 is doable. Now, we could get all the way back up here at 220, which is like, you know, that 2 to 1 is 60, 3 to 1 is 90, 4 to 1 is 120. So we're looking at some really good risk to reward ratio if we could catch a move on that. So again, those are hard to do though, right? So you got to remember that those are hard to do, but they can be done if you take your time and you plan and you really do a good job on your entries, right? So I'm watching this one right now. I kind of like it. It might happen while we're on the show today. So that would be pretty cool. Okay, so let's get off of this and go to the next pair. So I think I beat the Euro New Zealand up. I think we can figure it out. So now let's go ahead and take a look at the Australian USD. Okay, daily time frame. So we're in an uptrend, but the 50 period is starting to move down. It's starting to point down. So we're getting some weakness. We have a head and shoulders pattern developing. We have one here, and here. That's the shoulder, right? And so when you do that, you get a neckline, which has happened. And you'll notice that this neckline has broken. Okay, so we have it's my famous bow tie, my bow tie pattern, right? We have the bow tie pattern, and I don't know, I just said this right now. It might be everybody trades bow tie, but we have the bow tie, we have the head and shoulders. We are bouncing right here on the daily. You'll notice that it just took this level out. So if this goes, we should see a really strong break to the downside. We have a key level right here that is being tested right now. Support, resistance is right here. So we're bullish. We broke yesterday's. We do have a head and shoulders pattern, but we're going to try to follow the price action on it and see what it says. Right now, it's saying it's going up. If it breaks this, you know, we want to see on a break and try to catch it on timing, right? Because with our timing, it's really critical. But you can see this is a 15-minute. All these moving averages have been broken. Price pulled back, and then it went up. So what do I like to do? I like to catch the move on the pullback, right? I like to catch it on a pullback. So if we look at this, you can see that there is a pullback right here. It broke this moving average, and now we had a break right here. It pulled back, hit the moving average, and then it broke. So that's one way to trade. It's kind of how I'm trading the Euro New Zealand right now, is I'm just waiting for that pullback. So right now we have some momentum going. I would have rather got it in right around 76.15. So I'm about 7 pips late on this, because if I would have got in here, I could have put a nice tight 11 pip stop, and we'd already be at a 1-to-1. I'd have to break this resistance point. So if it does break this, though, on a daily, we can see we do have some room. We're in an uptrend. It could get right back up here. So with that being said, if it breaks that key level that I just identified, what would I like to do? Well, I'd like to wait for it to come up, then wait for it to pull back like this. And this is just, it takes time to be patient. Wait for this to happen. And then when this happens, and hopefully it would be right around here. It doesn't always happen right on this support level. Sometimes it happens deeper. It might happen down here, but whenever you get the break, you take it up, right? And again, this could be also, right? We don't know what the market's going to do. We do know that we have on the daily that head and shoulders, and it's at resistance. So if this resistance holds, we could get a little head fake up here. Let's readjust our dynamic here. We get a head fake here, and then it comes like that, and then it breaks lower. Okay, so that could happen, and it could come back down, hit some new lows, and pop up like this, and then go down, right? And so that is what another scenario could be, because we're in a moment of decision. We're in a moment of decision. The market has to make up its mind. And one of the things that the market absolutely loves to do is to shake people out. The market loves to shake people out, right? Because it has to pick up orders, buy or sell volume to push it to where the market is going. So it's never going to be easy. Well, sometimes it'll be easy, but most of the times it's not going to be easy. So that's what I'm looking at on the Australian USD. If something develops while we're here, I'll be watching it, and I'm just going to keep some of these charts open just to try to find what's happening, just to try to stay on board with some of this stuff. Okay, let's take a look at one of my other faves, which is the euro dollar. Okay, euro dollar is interesting because it's an uptrend as well, but it just broke below everything. It just broke. So now it's really got some downward momentum. As a matter of fact, we're down from the highs about 600 pips. Let's take a look at the fib on this from swing high to swing low. It's getting close to the 38.2. So this is kind of a normal retracement, as a matter of fact. So it's not like terrible, but you do see all the blues pointing lower. These two are still, which is the 50. This one is moving sideways. This one's still up. So the 200 still bullish, still moving up, but it did break below. So let's take a look. We have a channel now. We have a downward channel. And maybe I could draw this a different way. This might be a little bit better way to draw this. Okay, downward channel. And so it's at the bottom of the channel. Let's draw the tops of it. Okay, so we're currently at where we have a channel. Now, to me, if it breaks to the bottom of this channel, that is a sign of extremely bearish. So that would be a huge sell trade. If it consolidates around here and breaks up, well then, what would that mean? That would mean more bullish action and get to the top of this channel, possibly break back up to some higher highs. So this is an area where we want to watch. It's a pretty critical area. Let's see what other levels we have. We have a support level up here. We also have a support level right here. You can see it was handled this level pretty well. So right now I'm more thinking that we're going to catch a bounce right here, just like what we kind of saw in the Australian USD. But I'm not going to trade anything until I can follow through. So we go down to a lower time frame. You can see we're really overextended on this hourly, and now we're starting to bottom out. Okay, so we're starting to bottom out because we have a move up, and then this level broke. Okay, you see it broke that level, and now it's respecting these here, and it's trying to break again. So let's go down to a 15-minute. Okay, and so here we go. We have a 15-minute trend line. There was one really tight trend that just got broken. Okay, and then now we have a bigger, more powerful 15-minute trend, and you'll notice that it broke the trend, and then it's now testing. So it's looking like it's trying to break again, all right, and trying to head up. Now, if we're going to be taking a trade here, what's the best way to take the trade? Okay, it's basically what I said on all of them. We wait for it to pop up. Maybe it goes like this, okay, and then we catch it down here, and then we take that break to the upside. Okay, if it goes lower, same kind of thing. We could catch this break. If it breaks lower, we just short right here and catch it. There's room. If let's say we put our stop here, we got about a 10 pip stop. And where's our target? Our target would be this bottom of this trend line. We got like a 30 pip target. So we could do a 10 pip with a 30 pip if we go short. It is definitely overextended on the downside. Absolutely overextended. If we look at, I'm not using the MACD, but we can take a look at this MACD just for fun. It's always nice to have additional visuals. Look at this MACD. Black dot, black dot, black dot. What's happening? Well, we have a divergent situation. We have a new low, but not a new low on the MACD. It's a divergence. It's actually getting ready to reverse. I mean, that's just a fact. Does it mean that it's not going to go back lower again? Well, no, it could. We could have a fake up here and go lower again. But even so, our divergence is getting lower, and market just needs some kind of pullback. And that doesn't mean that it's not the downtrend's over, but it means that it's going to come up into here before it gets enough sellers to move lower. So right now, my favorite trade on this is waiting for a little bit of bullish price action and going long. So that's more of what I'd be interested in, but anything can happen at this point. So with the trading, anything can happen. Remember that anything can happen at any time in trading. So I'm trying to get a trade on for you guys, but I don't want to force anything. Remember, we're going to be doing 10 trades together, and I want to just do the analysis for everyone. So Euro New Zealand, I'm just checking in. It's pushing down lower again. And if you guys remember, I'm interested in trying to find some kind of long trade on this, just like on the euro pound, euro dollar as well. Okay, so CAD yen. CAD yen is a great looking setup. I actually took this yesterday, and I took it right here. I took a CAD yen break. So I'll show you what I did on this. So it's sometimes fun to go in hindsight because I did exactly what I said I was going to do with you guys. So on a 15-minute, I first did the analysis. I saw that what did I notice? I noticed there was some support here, and I was looking for a bounce, okay? And I got the bounce. So you'll see that yesterday we had this bullish candle, and then the follow through the next day. So what did I do? I waited for it, and I took a long right off of this break right here, okay? And you can see what happened. It was a pretty solid trade. I didn't get the whole thing. I just got a piece of it, but it was a really good trade. So, so right now on this one, it's really powerful. It's got a target of getting back up here. It could break these levels, but I don't like trading when it's this high. So, I mean, you can do it on a 1 minute if you want. You can trade all these pullbacks when it's this strong. Every time you get a pullback, you go long. And I don't know why I use that tool. Every time you get a pullback, and these are 1 minutes, but you can make good trades of these if you're a scalper, right? And people say scalping doesn't work, but it does if you're following a really strong trend and that trend isn't over yet, right? When the trend ends, well, that's when you're in trouble. But I think we could have some more room on it. I traditionally would rather wait for a stronger pullback like I did yesterday. You see when I got in here. And there was a big pullback here, and then there was another tinier pullback here. I like to do that. At this point, it's so strong, I know it's going to reverse, right? But the thing about this is there's lots of people shorting here, and the market loves to short squeeze. Market loves to short squeeze. And so, like, for example, this big move here, people were shorting in here. They were shorting in here. They were shorting in here. They were shorting in here. So, you know, if you're going to short, you're going to get squeezed. And that is what I'm thinking is going to happen again here, is you're going to get squeezed. So if you're going to go long, I'd rather wait for pullback and then go long to try to continue out some of this trade. But I think we could get right back up to these highs, and I believe we could go beyond. Let's look. I didn't actually start the way I'm supposed to start, which is with weekly. I didn't do my weekly. So weekly, you can see what we're dealing with here. Very strong, very, very, very strong. It's very similar to what we've seen on the pound yen and the US yen, because the yen is very weak right now. And so we've got a lot of key levels on this right here. You just a lot of power. So this is a great way to get some solid setups on these yen pairs, is just to wait for pullbacks, be patient and wait for pullbacks on some of these trades, right? So let's take a look at the euro yen. Euro yen, same kind of scenario. Let's start with a weekly time frame. Euro yen, we have upward momentum, price is moving. We have a downward move and then a pin bar. So right now that pin bar is acting as key support. And I know you guys want to see trades, but I'm not going to force it. I'm just doing analysis. And, you know, it takes some time to do this right. It just does. And you learn a lot. So right now we're in this zone here. I'm looking for pullbacks to the upside. Right now we have one. So let's see what we're looking at on an hourly. So right now, again, this is pretty powerful. You can see we have a powerful move right here. I'm not going to go long at this point. I would rather wait for pullback, something like this, and then a move to the upside like that. So I would rather wait for this to happen. We do have the moving averages, which could give us some pushback. But again, if it's trying to short squeeze, it might not. It could just keep going. So that's the weekly, the daily, anything to look at. We got a key level here and here. We're right in the middle of these two key levels. So those are the two most important. 15-minute, let's go to a 15-minute. And so remember what I had mentioned before is anytime you get, let's actually go to a lower, let's go to a 1 minute. On a move like this, when it's trending really strong, you just wait for pullbacks and you go long. Wait for pullbacks and you go long. Wait for pullbacks and you go long. So if you guys see anything in the chat, let me know, guys. Let me know because I'm trying to do analysis, but I want to take a trade, so I don't want to miss anything. Okay. I'm waiting for this Euro New Zealand to set up. All right, now pound yen. So again, you guys remember I was taking this earlier, and I took a loss on it because I was just a little bit too early. I was too early. I did it. I was expecting a bounce, and now we got a really, this is a big candle, because this is a pin bar in the direction of the trend, and we have a breakout happening right here. You see that? This thing could really rock, guys. This thing could really go. So this is another good setup. We just wait for it. It's breaking this level. This was a nice trend line break. So down here was a perfect entry. But now what are we going to do with it? I don't want to go long here. I don't like buying longs right at the highs. Sometimes the highs are great to buy. You know, in stock trading, 52-week highs are really popular. And this is like a 52 candle high, probably. Let's count back. Yeah, right. This is like a 70 candle. This is like a 120 candle high right here on the 1 hour time frame, because you just drag your thing and you count it over. So that's pretty good. So with that being said, let's focus here and say, what can we do? Well, if we want to do 1 minute, we wait for a pullback and we go in on a 1 minute. And so we have a lot of these. We got the Euro Yen, we've got the CAD Yen. We could get in on pullbacks, or if we're going to be a little more patient, you wait for something significant. You know, we could run a fib, right? We run fibs from swing high to swing low, wait for something to get back down to the 23.6 area, 150.70, and then get in. If it doesn't break that low, you just wait for a pullback to go back. You can look at it on a 15-minute, wait for something to come down here. If you want to be patient. If you don't, just wait for a pullback. And these are nice little scalps. These are nice little scalps. This one would have been really solid. See this? Boom. Broke above these moving averages, and there you have it. So again, it just takes patience on the entry. And we're just being real patient here. So right now we have a little bit of a breakout happening on this Euro New Zealand 5 minute. We've been basing here. You see it's basing, and we're moving lower, but we're at a key support level. This is kind of the trade I've been looking at for this session. Why? Because I'm laughing because Jash is saying sell the US yen. Yeah, but you know what, dude, you gotta realize something. These powerful moves, there's a lot of short sellers, right? And you guys know what a short squeeze is? Has anybody been following that GameStop stuff with the short squeeze? Like, if you're gonna trade when everything's short, that's dangerous. It's very dangerous, especially with this power. You got to really have a plan and know exactly what you're doing. Okay. So I just want to show you guys this real quick. This is a Forex sentiment tool, right? Look at this. Okay. This is a Forex sentiment tool, and you'll see that it shows you the percentage of short traders right now. So have you guys ever heard of going with the herd? What happens, Jash, when you go with the herd? It's not usually too good, right? There's lots of people that are short here. And one thing I want you to see about this is they're down an average of 253 pips, okay? Now, these guys are going to get squeezed. Everybody that's going short is going to get squeezed. And I'm not saying that it's going to go up, but I'm saying this is something you want to look at, right? These short squeezes cause price to go up. Why? Because all of those shorts have to bail. They have to bail on their positions. And the more it goes up, the more they bail, then it gets a big, huge spike. So if you're going to short, you know, it's going to drop, but we don't know how high up it's going to go first, right? So if you're going to do it, you got to really, really be on point with your Abraham. Okay, there was a test missile last night, and that's why it's weak. Okay, so let's just talk about that for a minute. So we have the pound yen here, okay, and so you'll notice that it is really, really, really weak. You see this? And how long has it been weak for? Since March 15th of 2020. Okay, we've been going straight up since March 15th of 2020. So, yeah, it is. You know, Jace, you should follow the GameStop saga with everybody that's shorting GameStop and the big move, and it did drop. So these big short squeeze, they do drop. But what happens is it's usually after all of the people that are shorting die first. The market has a way to kill all the buyers and all the sellers at the same time. And so you just got to really have a plan and know what you're doing. But anyways, talking about the missile thing, okay, the fact that this yen is so weak has nothing to do with the missile. It might have had something to do with just like one evening, but this has been going on for a year. Okay, this is a sentiment. This is a powerful trend, and it finds every little news, every little piece of interesting stuff to continue with that trend. And so little bits and pieces of news can impact you a little bit, but this thing was going to go up no matter what. And they just find news as an excuse. This thing is up. So actually, look at this. We already could have got this little trade. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the Euro New Zealand, watch that. Let's do a New Zealand dollar, and I really hope I can get a trade in, but I'm not going to force anything. Let's go look at Australian real quick. Okay, so Australian, actually, did I miss the entry on this? No, we have it right here. This is a pretty decent entry. You can see that it's breaking. It's a breakout entry, and the problem with breakout entries is it needs to really spike, because a lot of times it's a fake out. I'd rather wait for it to come back and then get a setup here. But you can take breakout trades. Again, once you're in the trade, if you do your analysis and you do your homework and you try to figure out what the market's going to do, once you're in the trade, really there's only two things that can actually happen, right? You can either win the trade or you can lose the trade. You have a 50-50 statistical chance once you're in the trade. So as long as you're managing your risk well, you can do that. Let's see, CAD yen. So CAD yen's pulling back right now. We've got price lowering. So let's watch this along with the Euro New Zealand. Let's see, Euro yen, CAD yen, US yen. Let's take a look at the US yen. You look at that thing. See, this is actually this is gonna squeeze some people, right? This thing's gonna keep going. This would have been a great move, but look at us on a weekly. Okay, and actually I was watching this on a monthly. This is really powerful. Let me show you. This is insanely powerful. Look at this. Do you see this? What's happening? It's breaking a monthly trend. This is going to crush people, right? So please be very careful shorting this. I think this is going to really go because of this powerful trend line. This downtrend hasn't been broken in a long time. Okay, so I think that this is a long setup personally, but again, waiting for the pullbacks. Okay, New Zealand dollar, someone wants to trade that. Can you enter for sell? You can, Imran, this is a great question. You can do whatever you want, right? Remember, this is educational purposes only. Trading is risky. You can do whatever you want at any time. Okay, there's no stopping you. However, you got to manage your risk. You got to manage your loss. Trading is risky. This is not a trade call service. This is trying to teach you how to trade. Even if I decided to short it and I made money, doesn't mean that you are, right? Because we're different. We have different trading styles. We have different brains. We have different clicking fingers that clicks the buy button, right? It's hard to say just because I do something, you do something. But actually, I would not sell this. I would probably be looking at, there's resistance right here. So it could be a sell. We could sell, but what would I be waiting for? I'd be waiting for this to break, right? I'd be waiting for that to break because it's really down. It could break up and get back up into these moving averages. And also remember, the trend is pretty interesting. The fact that we have this happening, right? It's right at the 50 period, at the 150. It's right here. It did break this key support level, right? So that this level is going to be pretty powerful. So I don't want to short it yet or go long yet. I want to see what happens at this level because this is a very strong level. But I wouldn't trade it yet because it's still indecisive. We don't know what's happening right now. So thank you for asking the question. Thank you. And if you guys have enjoyed this training today, go ahead and hit that like button. All right. So still going lower on that Euro New Zealand. CAD Yen is breaking a new level here, kind of on the 1 minute chart. And this thing is super duper duper overextended. You know, honestly, you could trade this short too, but you got to be super careful on it because it's got to have a really solid break, just because this is powerful right now, especially with what's happening today in the yen. I have a 50, a 150, and a 200. A 50, 150, and a 200. The 50, the 150, and the 200. All right. Well, guys, I really appreciate today's session. Oh, I wanted to show you guys something on Twitter too. Hold on. I just popped into my head. If I can find it. Hold on. Since we need to have a little interesting stuff here. So I found this and I didn't come up with it, but it was kind of interesting. It says there's some technical analysis on this ship that was stuck. They really need to get this thing unstuck because it's costing a lot of people some money. But you know, everything looks like the market angles, right? So if you guys see that, you can, if you think it's funny, go ahead and retweet it there. Just click that link and click this. You can retweet this. Thing is kind of funny. But anyway, so that's that. If you want to do that. All right. Now, remember, we're going to be doing a live event here, and it's going to be a big one. It's going to be basically talking about a Forex roadmap, and also I'm going to be introducing a community that I'm building as well. For traders. And so I think you guys will be really interested in that. So just be on the lookout. I'm going to actually make the official announcement on April 1st for those of you that are interested. Okay, so we just had a little bit of news trigger. Let's see what the news said. It was just tiny news. I keep my news charts up too. It's nothing big. I usually like the red ones the best. But this was positive here on the dollar, consumer sentiment, and inflation stuff. Let's go ahead back to CAD Yen. Oh, see, I missed it. You got to be really fast for these. Got to be really fast. I could have got on that pin bar up 3 pips. So I need a little more significant pullback than that. Okay, let's take a look at the USD CAD. I actually took this trade last night. See the line, right? I took this trade on this sell and it did really well. And the reason I did it is because of this trend line and this 50 period. I saw that and I saw the price action. And so I went ahead and took that short trade last night on that. So right now, USD CAD, it could try to reverse and break, but look at what we have. We have this level is breaking. Let's look at it. Pretty interesting. So on a daily time frame, 4 hour, we're in a consolidation. So if it does break up, that's pretty significant. So if we get a break here, you can see this line. If it breaks right here, this is significant to the upside. Otherwise, the downtrend may continue. And it's been working. This trade has been working a lot for the last year or so. Every time you get a break to the downside, you can see that it's been a good trade. Here's one last year. Here's one. Here's one. Anytime you get it, and you can see here's one. So anytime you get that, you get a trade. And I actually already grabbed one short, but I could grab another one if we get the proper price action. So we have a little bit of a bottom here. Maybe it would pop back up and we could get a short happening there. Okay, so CAD yen is now going lower. Let's see if we could get a little bit more on it. But we're actually getting close to running out of time, guys, and I don't have a trade. I don't have a trade, but it's Friday, so this is probably my favorite one. As you guys, I keep coming back to it, just because this is a powerful support level, and it's just been really working its way down. It's been slow grinding. I think it's starting to build up buyers here. I think it's starting to build up buyers. And so that's what we're trying to see, is if it's building up some buyers. Every time it drops lower, it could get buyers. You know, what happens with some of these moves and why divergence is so powerful is, let's look at this on a lower time frame. The sellers are in control right now, but every time you get a new low, there's going to inevitably be some buyers, right? So we get a new low, buyers come in. Get a new low, buyers come in. Get a new low, buyers come in. And eventually, so it's good. I like to teach this so people see what's happening behind the scenes. Eventually, there's a big pool of buyers and it's enough to push it up, right? So right here, we got some more buyers. Here, we got some more buyers. And we're getting more right now. So, and here's an interesting thing. I just pulled up this sentiment thing again. This sentiment is showing lots of shorts, okay? So what's interesting, and the shorts are 138, so it could be a short squeeze too. So we get buyers are getting in here, but why are they so short? Well, because it's a downtrend and they've been shorting. They're expecting this to continue. That's why, you know, our good friend said that it was going to go lower, and he has a sell order, and it very well could. I mean, this is actually a nice looking trade on the downside. You see it bounced off this key level, and now it's headed lower. So it really could. It really, really could. But there's one thing that I'm looking at that is giving me, there's more than one thing. Number one is it's all those shorts. I think those shorts are going to get squeezed. So that's number one, is the shorts, okay? Number two is that we broke this key level. I'm pointing at the chart. We broke this key level right here, and it's sitting there. So that's number two. just technical analysis alone, this looks like a great setup. It's a downtrend. We got a candle. Like, oh, look, here's a downtrend and candle. But you notice the bounce. This bounce is the second bounce, right? There was a bounce here. There's bounce number 1, okay? And then a bounce here, bounce number 2. There's never been 2 bounces before, right? And in a long time. And so that is telling me that there are some smart people that realize that it's going to go long. Okay, now we have 2 bounces. Bounce 1, bounce 2. It broke this 50 period. It hasn't done that in forever. Okay, and it broke this key level, and it broke this key level. Okay, now don't get me wrong here. This is a key support right here. This is a weekly and a daily. This is a key support, so it makes sense. The other thing that really has it interested is this is a short squeeze, and it's drawing people in. The more it goes down, it's drawing those shorts in, and it's gonna squeeze them. Okay, and again, this is educational purposes only. I'm not making a prediction. I'm just thinking out loud, really. And so I am thinking we're going to get a bounce. Now, does that mean it's going to stop here? It could squeeze out more people down and then go, or I could be dead wrong. I could be totally wrong, and this thing is in. So Jash is in. He put his stop loss at 169. Okay, man, I see it above that. Hopefully it's above this daily candle. If it's 169, that's a little tight. I would at least put it above that daily candle. But you also got to talk about your target too, because it could, you got some good momentum, but it's really basing out here, right? It's really basing out. So with that being said, see what the CAD yen's doing. Okay, so CAD yen, we might get a trade here. We got a triple bottom, 1, 2, 3. We got a triple bottom. It's into this support. See how it broke that high? Triple bottom. We're consolidating. We're at the 50 period. It hasn't been in the 50 period in a while. It has not. Okay, so I'm actually going to do it on this Euro New Zealand. I'm just going to do it because we got some bullish price action. It didn't really break this 15-minute yet, but I'm just going to do it, and it might come back to haunt me. But I wanted to get a trade for you guys. And if this one ends up being a loser, I'm not going to force any more after this. But I got the pin bar here. We have a beginning of a break right here. You see that? And so I'm going to go ahead and do it. Let's make it happen. And I'm using my Epic management tool. And there we go. Okay, so I have the trade. It's in place. And I'm going to grab the image on it. And if you guys I would really appreciate it if you guys would hit a like on today's session because I just enjoyed the session. I think it was a good session. If you guys thought it was, and maybe I'm wrong, but if you thought it was good, hit that like button for me. I really would appreciate it. All right. And remember, I got some good stuff coming. We're going to do a nice live training. I want to see everyone there. You guys are one of my best audiences. And so there's going to be I will guarantee, and you can't guarantee everything in life. It's impossible. Let your yes be yes type scenario. But I really believe that there's going to be over 500 people there, and only 500 can make it. So, I have so many tabs open. So I'm going to just put this in. All right, guys. That is it for today. Thank you so much. No, Linda, that's free. And I'm actually looking at creating my own tool, but that's actually free. Let me show you how to get it. You go to My FX Book. Okay, and it's free. And once you're on the home page, don't go to Cedar FX because that's like their broker and they're not very good. Well, I can't say that. I don't know. I've never used them, but and then you just click Forex Sentiment, right? Cedar XF is just the sponsor. They don't have anything to do with this tool. So you just go in here and you get the data right here. And actually, I might be able to put this on my website too. But anyhow, for now, that's how to do it. All right, guys. Let's see how my trade's doing. Uh-oh. It's going down. Well, you guys will know whether I win or lose because you can see what happened, and I'm not going to hang in there, but uh-oh, we might get the loss. If it does lose, I'm going to take it again probably. I'll just time it better. All right, guys. That's it for now, but have a great weekend. And I am, of course I'm buying. I just bought it. Jace, where have you been, man? I bought the euro because I'm hoping that it pushes it down so you can win. Just kidding. Yeah. This is about. All right, have a great weekend, and I'm going to be doing some fun stuff this weekend. I'm going out into the woods with my kids. We're going to be camping, and that's one of my favorite things to do, so I'm really excited. All right, we'll see you guys, and we'll talk to you guys soon. You can get the Epic Management Tool right here on my website. It's right here. I'll post it in the chat for you. There it is. It's in the chat. The Epic Money Management Tool is right there. Great tool. We're going to be adding a lot of updates to it, so it's going to be really good. Actually, my trade might hit the stop loss right away. Straight up loser instantly. So we're going to do our 10 trade challenge. So we're going to be playing with our money management strategy that I learned. So if you haven't seen if you didn't catch the beginning, you want to go back and catch the beginning of this video because I have a really cool money management strategy that I think you're going to want to grab. All right, that is now officially it. I am done. Wait for it. See if we can see what happens here. Anyways, I'll talk to you guys soon. Have a great weekend. I'm done.